Thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. Major headline, planned protest. Defense Headquarters, DSS, puts men operatives on red alert. President leads tributes as Ohanese leader Iwanyanwo passes on. 5 killed in Lagos building collapse, 5 rescued. Nigeria's economy growing faster on reform gains, says Edun. $10 billion lost to crude oil theft in 7 months, says Speaker Abbas. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Okay, the Speaker of the House of Reps, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, yesterday said that the country has so far this year lost about $10 billion in revenue to crude oil theft, vandalism and other forms of sabotage in the oil and gas sector. So this was at the investigative hearing on crude oil theft and revenue losses. When he said that it's practically impossible for the government to meet its daily obligations to the people as a result of this huge, revenue loss. We also had the Secretary to the government, George Akume. He said that the government was spending not less than $1.5 billion on pipeline surveillance with a view to prevent crude oil theft. Wow. So all these amounts of money, what we're losing in crude oil, and the amount of money that is put to just protect, the pipeline and everything, it's really taking a toll on our revenue, and revenue that could have gone for other things. Yeah. And so they were, okay, he also mentioned that NATI, that's the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, says that we've lost about $46 billion worth of crude to theft between 2009 and 2020. Okay? Imagine the amount of wastage we're talking about. Yeah. So the military too is saying that they're doing their best also. There's surveillance, and then there's some structures that they're adding to help reinforce their surveillance efforts. So this would, these structures, they call them jackets that will house wellheads. So I guess they are able to maybe protect those ones in those structures. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, the general message is that we're all responsible for this. Military says they are working with community leaders, people in the community to also keep an eye. For all of us, we need to be the police, so that we can protect.
When you see something that
happening.
Yes, make a call so that it's fixed. Any other stories?
Yes, I want to take the Nigerian economy growing faster. According to the Minister for the Economy and the Coordinating Minister for the Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun. I've been taking his stories a lot recently. He was recounting, and I think I want to take it because he felt a bit contrary to how Nigerians feel, but he had statistics to back up why he feels the Nigerian economy is growing. And according to him, there's been, number one, a 10% increase in the revenue of the country in the first half of 2020, oil revenue specifically in the first quarter of 2023, and to 30% in the first quarter of 2024. Also mentioned how the country, between the first half of 2024, has doubled what was the revenue in 2023. He also pointed that the, let me just quote him because I do not, so that I will not be like I'm the one saying it. He said that several industries, agriculture, industry, services, growth have recovered from the negative in the first quarter. They were in the negative first quarter of 2023, but now they've had modest growth in 2024. So he was just highlighting that the policies that they have put into place, which many Nigerians are feeling is hard, are providing fundamentals to help the entire economy to grow. And debt has reduced. The cost they've been paying on debt servicing has also reduced. So we're getting some things right. And I guess we just have to be patient to see the full scope of what they're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Okay, I have the one for FHA, Federal Housing Authority, building 50,000 houses. And this caught my attention because housing is a major deficit in the whole of the country. And the federal government is working hard to complete about 50,000 houses across the 36 states of Nigeria. This was said by the FHA Executive Director on project implementation. And he mentioned this, Mr. Oluremi Omowaye, he mentioned this at the ongoing Birmingham City at Britain, at the executive for all Progressive Congress United Kingdom chapter. He said that the president He titled the presentation as Tinubu's government is tackling houses deficit. He spoke on renewed hope and the agenda of the president and said that there is even a consideration for the people living in diaspora, and they are emphasizing on quality and also bringing affordability to housing. So instead of you having living abroad and sending money down, that the FHA can help you, assist you in doing all of that, that you just have to pay to FHA directly and you get your house within the stipulated period of time. So no fear of channeling your heart.
Avoid the issues we used to have where family members
will say they send in money and they didn't get anything, and to avoid stories that touch. So that one is quite interesting for me.
So the Lagos State government initiated an investigation to determine the causes behind the collapse of a two-story building on Wilson, Mba Streets. That happened in Maryland Estate. They said about 5 persons died, and they were all construction workers. The permanent secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olufemi Oke, was the one who confirmed the fatalities in a statement that was obtained by Punch correspondents, and he noted that 5 persons were rescued from the rubble, while 5 others died. And they also said that they had to, respond initially when they heard about it, and they were able to rescue the 5 victims. Those ones were treated and given first aid and medical treatment before they were now transferred to Bagada Bagada State Hospital. And they said, we began the search and rescue operations and were able to cut down on the number of casualties. So as I speak to you, 5 persons are dead, and that's sad. We're still doing search and rescue in the property, and to see if there are more people that can be rescued from that. Now, some residents are speculating because nobody has come out to say, I own this building. So they are speculating that maybe the person is not in the country and all of that. Nobody's coming up to own up to say, it's my building that collapsed. But they said they will be running an integrity test on the building to ascertain exactly what caused that collapse. Some residents still said that place is a quicksand, that they didn't understand why the person had to build there, not knowing how to navigate those swampy areas. Very risky. We should please pay attention to other people's lives. Let's move on now to the Punch. Major headline, Tinubu rallies NSA, monarchs as hunger protests looms. President meets APC governors, Oni, Sultan, clerics as planned protest gains momentum. Opposition charges Tinubu to address Nigerians. Army, DSS alleged plots to force regime change. President and governors mourn Ohaneze leader Iwanyanwu as he dies. Probe, National Assembly summons NNPC, Dangote over $10 billion oil theft. Tinubu may sign 70,000 minimum wage bill next week. Factional kingmakers oppose fresh Alaafin selection process. Police station rape. NGOs condemn pace of investigation. Lagos begins probe as 5 killed in building collapse. What stories do we have in the Punch? I think we can do a story before we go on.
You took the rape?
Yes.
You took?
I took the rape, yes. So let me quickly look for it. Yes, so we know that story now, the rape story where a particular young girl, I think age 17, went to the police to report her stolen phone, and then a police officer, yes, raped. So some non-governmental organizations are condemning what they are describing as a lengthy investigation of a police, officer accused of raping the child. So they are saying that, the investigation is taking too long.
Yes.
Okay. They had promised that they were going to get on it immediately and punish the perpetrator at the end of the case. But now, after a few weeks, they have not heard anything. They had written to the police. They are saying that they've started conducting tests on the girl, and by the time the result is ready, they would send it to the appropriate quarters. So they are saying this is taking too long, and we need to get on this case before it's swept under the carpet. We'll be taking a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us.
Such a sad story. Maryland area.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.